Good morning, everyone. It's Gail with Traders Help Desk, and this is the market after the vote last night. And of course, Donald Trump won, and I was actually short most of the indices, and I want to explain why I was short. On these higher time frames, you had a couple of things that really kind of indicated that the market was not going to go up further off of the election, and that pretty much meant a Trump win. Number one, you had divergence right here on this stochastics that I just developed, and you had a momentum shift on that bar, and you had a high ADX value there. So this was going into the election when the first results started coming out. And between all of this, you've got three different independent indicators telling you that, hey, the market's going to go down. This is your momentum shift bar here. You also had this congestion dot over here on the 1440. And they did try to break it, but they were not very successful in it. So I do think that we're going to see more downward movement when the market opens today. I did have some positions across the board, and regardless of what I show you, whether it's the NASDAQ or the ES, every one of them had these indications. Here we have the NASDAQ, and you can see on the NASDAQ, same thing, higher highs, lower highs in the stochastics. You can also see, once the volume comes up, you can see we had exactly the same. We had a high here, the volume flipped to the downside here. We had a high ADX value, and we had the divergence on the stochastics. Also had an ATR right up here that was going to prevent price from going higher. So again, I'm expecting more downward movement today. If I go over and click on the ES, exactly the same pattern. And I was seeing this as early as Monday evening, which is when I placed my trades actually. And you can see, you've got this ATR here, and you can see that we got that red dot here. And I believe that was on Monday. We got the signal to go short. You can also see as you're making these highs here, again, you're making lower highs in the stock, and then you have that high ADX value over here. And again, this is telling me that the market is going down, which is why I would not have taken that long entry over here. Again, I do think that the market may continue down today, and they're warning everybody about the circuit levels for the indices. And this was a very high risk environment. If you were wrong, you were going to be wrong, with a major loss. But because I was trading binary options, I only paid, it was about $30 a contract for my positions. Now over in gold, again, it gave it away a little bit earlier because you were making lower lows. But look, stochastics is making higher lows. That should not have happened. Okay, you also see that on this bar that you had a momentum shift to the upside. So even though price was making lower lows, you can see you had the momentum flip and the stock telling you, hey, you need to go long, do not go short. Now right now on gold, on the 12-minute chart, you can see that we're making higher lows, but we'll come back and we've made either equal or a little bit less than over here. So, this is telling me that we're probably going to go up today. These were my trades, and I placed them, you can see, on November 7th, and I did it about 8 o'clock. The reason that I did was because I could get really cheap binary. So if I was wrong, it wasn't going to devastate me. I only paid about $30 a contract on all of my trades, and they were very nice, profitable trades. Now, I plan, if the market continues, I plan on shorting the indices and going long on gold this morning. But again, polls can be wrong. This was the same thing that I saw during the Bree exit. The indicators, the charts, they were all telling us to go short on the British pound, and the polls were saying no, the UK is going to stay in the European Union. So it's real important to understand that these polls, they get it wrong. Charts typically will lead you in the right direction as long as you know how to read them.